Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are, or Oracle. I'm going to do a collective Oracle and affirmations for today. Today is Saturday, May 23rd, 2026. I wanted to say Thursday again. What is up with the Thursday? Okay, Thursday, nothing happened to me. I didn't have anything happen on Thursday other than I had a really good meatball sandwich. That's it. I spent $116 on my friend for her birthday. She will spend zero on me. She doesn't even remember my birthday. And yes, this is the same one that gave me the shit that she didn't want. Exactly. I'm going to do a collective for today. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates. It all might resonate. It all might not resonate. Can you just use some discernment, please? Because I don't want to go through the whole spiel. I'm pissed off. Not really, but kind of. These fucking cards fell out of the bag and fell behind the table, which I have not cleaned behind in probably a year and a half. And then I go to pull them out and I get the cards. However, I find litter behind the table. And seriously, how does the litter get there? I have no idea, seeing as the table is here and the litter box is all the way over there. We got 2 on the table. 3 on the table. 5 or 6 on the table. 6 or 7 on the table. Let's see what we got. Something about winter. Something's going to happen this coming winter. 2 more shuffles. The winter card says distant, rebirth. Yeah, it's distant, all right. It's like 7 months away till December. I always look at November, December as the beginning of winter. Depends on when we get our first snowfall, I guess. Last shuffle. Seven on the table. We got 8 with bottom of the deck. This was bottom of the deck when I pulled the cards out this morning, because I knew I was going to read them. This is Ginger Mama off TikTok. This is her deck of cards. I can't remember exactly what her name is. You could probably type in Ginger Mama on TikTok. She'll come up. She's red hair. I can't remember what state she lives in. The South? I don't remember. She's divorced. She's got like, I think 3 little kids, I think. I first started watching her when I got into tarot on TikTok. And I bought her deck because I like the deck, but I'm not really a fan of hers. No offense to her. She's really judgmental. She's really like, I just can't. I can't. She's very informative. She's very knowledgeable. Okay, but yeah. We got addiction. Actually, what's funny is she showed up in my feed like last week, I think. We got loneliness, angel numbers, meditation, religious texts, winter, marriage, and then bottom of the deck, third eye. I like the third eye, man. I think it's probably one of the best cards of the deck. I love it. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. Somebody's in isolation, someone's hermiting because they're getting over addiction. Someone's going to like AA. Somebody could be in a medical treatment program taking like prescription drugs to get over drugs. Whoever this person is, this is somebody that's kind of, what do they call it? What is it? Having that coming to God moment? Is that what that is? This person could be like looking at religion, spirituality, tapping into meditation, possibly doing yoga, stuff like that, grounding. This person is trying to center themselves, basically, balance themselves out, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. Whoever this person is, and you guys all have to take how it resonates. Whoever this person is, in the winter, they could be getting married or they could be coming into some type of connection, some type of union. I don't know if this is you. I don't know if this is someone you know coming towards you. I couldn't give you a definitive answer because again, it probably varies for everybody. This could even be like a friend coming back around to say, hey, I'm sorry, we fell out of touch, but this is what's been happening to me, and how have you been, and can we talk? It could even be like that. Because the wedding doesn't even necessarily, at the bottom, she wrote commitment, proposal, vows. I mean, it could just be somebody committing to a conversation, committing to getting to know somebody again. Again, especially if it's like a friend situation. If this resonates for you, if you think this is even a possibility, um, I think you're gonna get the intuitive nudge ahead of time. You could have felt for a long time like somebody was coming back around. It's kind of like if you subscribe, the guy that I was friends with benefits in 2023 after my divorce, and then him and I had a thing last year. He's in a relationship. He's been in a relationship going on 3 years now. It'll be 3 years in August. Sorry, my piercing is irritated. Um, I feel like this thing is always irritated though. Um, 3 years he'll be in his relationship in August, and I know it's gonna sound silly. I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I fully expect one day for him to show up on my doorstep. Like I really think this guy does not get it. Like and I told you guys, he messaged me in January because the road by where my work was closed down. There was a truck that overturned or something, and he messaged me to ask me if I was okay because they just shut down the road from end to end, so he couldn't even get through. But it made me laugh because he shouldn't even technically be going down that road to get to work. It's kind of out of his way. So you're telling me you drive past my work every day? Really? Really? And the other thing was is when we had gotten together in September, October, he had told me that he had driven past my place a couple times. And it wasn't until after the fact that I was like, that's kind of creepy. Like, why are you driving around over here? And it's not like he lives that far away. He really doesn't. He lives like 5-10 minutes away. Like, but still, you don't need to be driving here. You don't need to be driving past my work to go to your work. Like, it doesn't, like, hello. So I fully expect in another 3 months, 6 months, he'll try and pop back up because he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. And when I didn't answer him in January, that was the answer. Sometimes silence is the answer, right? I've said that before. You expect an answer to your question, to your comment, but silence is the answer. Silence silence is a pretty definitive answer, honestly. Whether you give it or you receive it. Yeah, somebody could have somebody pop back up and be a little surprised, but I feel like you're going to get some kind of nudge. It would even be like, like let's say their name is Tina, and you're at work one day, you get off of work, you start driving home, and then you're driving home and you turn on the radio, and all of a sudden somebody, is talking on the radio, like, on air personalities, jockeys, whatever you want to call them nowadays. And all of a sudden somebody just randomly says the name Tina, and then they're like, "Where'd that come from?" And you're like, "Yeah, where'd that come from?" And then like 3 days later, 3 weeks later, here comes Tina with a text message like, "Hey, can we talk? How you been?" You know? Like sometimes we get those little nudges and we don't even realize. We don't even think about it. And I get a lot of messages like that. That was like I was listening to one of my favorite readers this morning, and I listen. Certain readers. I listen for Gemini because I'm a Gemini. I listen for Virgo because I'm a rising, and I listen for Aries because I'm a moon, an Aries moon. I don't usually do Leo, even though that's my North Node, because I know too many Leos, and I feel like that's never my energy. Every once in a while I will, just for kicks. I watched the Gemini, it didn't resonate. So I was like, I don't need to finish this. And I gave her a thumbs up anyway, right? She did like a whole collective with all the signs. So I gave her a thumbs up. But I listened to the Gemini, it didn't resonate. Then I went on to the Virgo, didn't resonate. And then I went on to the Aries, and I'm listening to it and I'm like, damn, 3 for 3. Like, this doesn't resonate. And then all of a sudden, instead of saying Aries, she said Gemini. And I was like, Gemini? I'm a Gemini. And I was like, huh. I didn't finish out the Aries reading either, but I did let it go a little longer, and then I just kind of petered out of there because it still really wasn't resonating for me. But that was kind of a sign, to kind of listen to it a little bit longer, to kind of, I don't know it to be true, so it's not for me. God could have been giving me a sign saying, "Hey, this is coming in," and that's great, that's fabulous, but you know what? Some things can be a surprise. Some things can be a surprise. It's fine. That could work too with these angel numbers, because this person could be looking into that kind of stuff when they're looking into spirituality. And if they're looking into angel numbers, someone could be getting a sign with angel numbers, almost like same time kind of thing. Different timelines, but the same thing, because eventually those timelines are going to converge and two people are going to come together for a conversation. At the very least. I don't know why, but I just saw somebody like playing basketball, first of all. It was a masculine. It was a masculine. And then I heard Rudolfo. Rodolfo. It felt like it was from a movie or a TV show or something. Like it didn't. They're not connected. The person playing basketball was playing basketball, but then there was something else about somebody saying Rodolfo, but it sounded like, I know this is going to sound weird, but it sounded like somebody was saying it like on TV, like there was kind of static in there. So maybe a movie, maybe a TV show, maybe a commercial. I don't know. Rudolfo? I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to let that go. I'm going to leave that there. I hope it resonates. I hope you enjoy it. I hope, if anything, you were entertained. I hope you all have a fabulous Saturday, a wonderful Memorial Day weekend if you're in the U.S., and I will talk to you later. Bye.